Hey Vicky, thank you for your question. Just want to start off by saying I'm sorry we didn't get to really develop a working relationship in this game. I was intimidated by the three-person pre-made of you, Dante, and Donovan, and I wish that once they were gone, we would have been able to intertwine a little bit. But at that point, it was too little, too late, and I was already wrapped up in the Silent Six. But you are a social beast in these games. I saw it in the last game. I saw it in this game. So, that is scary to someone who obviously hasn't played the best social game. But I want to just address your question. So, you want me to shit on everybody else's game? Normally, this is right up my alley. I love being the villain, and I love calling people out and all that. But it was actually really tough to sit down and, especially when it comes to Dina, because Dina and I have worked extremely close this whole game. But I'm going to start with Andrew. For me, Andrew was non-existent the first 6 weeks of the game. He was kind of asleep. He didn't show up for the live night, which he was nominated. So I feel like if someone really cared about their place in the game or took it seriously, they would have at least showed up. I competed in every competition that I could, and I went full force in every competition that I could, pulling out wins. I don't want to beat a dead horse. We already know about my wins, but I feel like the winner of the game should be someone who really was involved in the game from start to finish. Whereas Andrew, yes, had a great end game story as far as, getting an HOH thrown to him, and the one big move that he pulled off, winning that POV to save Drew, kudos to him, but I don't really feel like that can make up for the first 6 weeks. He keeps talking about how, this alliance and this and that, and he was the underdog and da 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 da. But I don't pity that, because you put yourself in that position. Had you been around more in the beginning rounds of the game and put a little bit more effort into your social game that you say you had, then you wouldn't have been on the bottom, and you would have had a nice tight alliance like we were able to make week one. So you can't get credit for putting yourself in a position. That's just how I feel about it. And besides that, Andrew and I never really spoke up until the week that he won HOH, and I knew that I was going to be nominated, but I, gave him the benefit of the doubt, or he gave me the benefit of the doubt, and we had a call. But prior to that, nothing throughout the game. It was always, where's your vote? Where's your vote? Where's your vote? So feel like that shouldn't be rewarded just because you came alive at the end game. Like, where were you weeks 1 through 4 or 5 or 6? From hearing from everyone else, seems like Andrew didn't have that social game either. And he basically was getting saved because he was viewed as a non-threat at the time. You and Noah were definitely a bigger threat in people's eyes over Andrew, because Andrew just wasn't around. So that's what I can say about Andrew's game. Excuse me, I just had lunch. As far as Dina's game goes, there were times when Dina was very upset with Sean, and I knew that the three of us needed to stick together and be strong in order to win. So I definitely talked her off the ledge. She vented to me a lot. She was upset with Sean for talking to you and Noah on your way out, and she was the one who put in my head, hey, Sean's playing for jury votes. So she definitely played a great social game, but it's obvious she didn't win any competitions, and I feel like people are giving social game a lot of attention, which it should, because it is a social experiment. But you can talk to everybody, you can be friends with everyone, you can do all that, but without competition wins and actually making the moves that you want to make follow through, then what really does it have? Let's take me out of the situation. Pretend I wasn't in this game, and Dina's, playing a great social game, but without being aligned with people who are going to win, you're not going to make anything happen. You're not going to make your moves from start to finish and be able to choose who you want where and all of that. So I was that person. I was that person for the season 6, the Silent Six, and I won to protect everybody. So Dina definitely lacked there. I think throwing the HOH to Andrew, knowing that Andrew was a bigger threat than Drew, was not smart. There could have been a way if Drew won and Drew didn't put me up, and he put up Dina and Sean, and I won the veto, which ended up happening. I could have taken one of them down, and Andrew would have went up. So I think that was a drop of the ball on Dina's part, only posting one of those elves or whatever the hell it was at the last stages of the game when, you know, your name is on the line. Like, she should have taken the risk, like I did, and put my neck out there by winning competitions, and still remained unnommed until the last round. So people can talk all they want about how my social game lacked, but it's not about talking to everybody. It's about talking to the right people, and I did that. I had a solid relationship with Dina and Sean, which I was getting all information from all ends. And, you know, I'm going to go into this more in Adam's question. But, yeah, so basically I think Andrew was asleep the whole game up until when he woke up and decided that he was here to play. I don't think that should be rewarded. I don't think that the winner of a whole season from start to finish should be someone who basically played from week 7 and on, whereas I was gunning for week 1 winning competitions. And then on Dina's part, I think, yes, she had a strong social game, but we talked strategy a lot, and we bounced back ideas off of each other. So the strategic game belongs to the three of us, me, Sean, and Dina. Yeah, you can have a strategic mind, but you need someone to bounce off your ideas, and that was me and Sean and Dina. So I definitely think I deserve a little bit more credit for that. And also talking Dina down from the ledge when she was upset with Sean, and I didn't want the alliance to implode from within. So definitely, and I was also had a call with Adam where Adam was very upset with Sean based on something that happened with Luis, and I immediately went to Sean and was like, Sean, this is what's happening. This is what people are talking about. You need to calm it down, bring it down a notch, because if you are going to be targeted, who do you think is going to be sitting next to you? Me. And I didn't want that to happen. So playing that middleman and listening and observing what people were feeling in the silent six, and then taking it to who I needed to take it to in order to keep everything copacetic for as long as possible until the moves needed to be made, was definitely a big plus on my part. But I think they're both great people. We're all here, so it's a real, it's a real accomplishment to be here, and I look forward to talking to you guys after the game. Thank you, Vicki.